Hello everyone, this is Muhammad Abdel Latif from Cairo University, Egypt. It's a pleasure to be here today with you in the conference. So, as noted in this slide, my conference paper is titled Englishization of Higher Education in the Arab World, Controversies, Policies, and Realities. Well, let me start by just reminding you of the Arab world map and the location of the Arab countries. So, as noted here in the parts highlighted in yellow, these are the Arab countries, 22 in number. So, we have 22 Arab countries using Arabic as their official language. 19 of these 22 countries are located in Western Asia and also in Northern Africa. The other three remaining countries, which are close to these two geographical regions, are Somalia, Comoros, and Djibouti. Okay, back again to my conference paper right now. Let's start by saying that the Englishization of higher education has become a growing international phenomenon. Many countries nowadays and many international societies are increasingly adopting higher education Englishization or internationalization policies. While this is the case in many worldwide countries and regions, the case is rather different in the Arab countries. Why? The answer is given here at the end of the slide. So we can say that the Englishization policies in the Arab world are countered by other opposite calls for the Arabicization of higher education curricula and teaching. So in each Arab country, we have a large number of people also calling for using Arabic as a medium of instruction in higher education institutions. So, due to such controversies over which language to use as a medium of instruction in higher education institutions in the Arab world, due to such controversies, we can also say that the adoption of higher education Englishization policies varies from one Arab country to another. So, in this paper, I'm going to highlight three interrelated issues. These are given here at the end of the slide, as you can note. So I'm going to start by highlighting the controversies over Englishization of higher education in the Arab world, and then I'm going to also discuss the policies, Englishization policies, and finally I'm going to discuss or highlight the realities of English medium instruction practices at Arab universities. Okay, let's start by highlighting the controversies. When we talk about the controversies over Englishization, we have also to refer to the Arabicization movements and the cause for each, attempts. So basically, in the Arab world or in each Arab country, we have basically two teams: a team arguing for the Arabicization, and the other team arguing for the Englishization of higher education curricula and teaching. So each team had their own arguments and reasons, let's say. So in these two slides, in this one and the following one, I'm summarizing the arguments adopted by each team. So for the Arabicization team, the arguments include strengthening the Arab and Islamic identity and culture, facilitating serious learning and understanding of content materials, considering the nature of some core subjects, such as clinical studies, for example, clinical study courses, and also the nature of some majors, such as mass communication, given that the Arab media mostly is written in Arabic rather than English, preserving the Arabic language or protecting it from the risk of dying out, and finally avoiding linguistic imperialism. These were the arguments for the Arabicization team. Now let's have a look at the ones for the Englishization team. So we can say that the arguments adopted by the Englishization team of higher education in the Arab world are fostering university or Arab university marketization and ranking, realizing the role of English as a global communication language and also as a language of scientific publication at the present era, enhancing the employability of university graduates, coping with the scientific and technological developments which are basically published in English, and works written in English, and finally promoting national modernization in each Arab country. So these were the arguments for each team. But the question is, which team has gained more ground in the Arab world? Here we are discussing, which policies have gained more ground in the Arab world, Englishization ones or Arabicization ones? So this is a question I'm going to answer in this part. So I'm going to highlight the attempts or the movements and the outcome of the movements made by each team. Well, let's say that the Arabicization movements have only been limited in some countries, or have been implemented in some Arab countries rather than all the Arab countries. So basically, here we are talking about the experiences of Arabicization or the Arabicization movements made in Jordan, Sudan, and Syria. These three countries, or three Arab countries, have made major efforts towards the Arabicization of their higher education curriculum and teaching. However, research generally indicates, and also literature generally indicates, that the Arabicization policies and movements in the three countries have not brought about their desired outcomes. The reasons are given here at the end of the slide, as you can note. We can say, simply speaking, that such movements have been encountering barriers, which include, of course, irregularities of institutional translation efforts of science references, rapid developments in science and technology, which make it difficult for institutions to translate what is regularly published in English into Arabic, and finally, differences in translating scientific terms within the Arab world. So, given the failure, given that the Arabicization movements, have not been a success, now the Englishization ones are gaining more and more ground in the Arab world. So at present, we can talk about four main types of English medium instruction universities and English medium instruction university programs in the Arab world. So we're going to here talk about type 1, type 2, 3, and 4 English medium instruction universities in the Arab world. Type 1. Type 1, these are the international branch campuses, or IBCs. These IBCs are basically operated by international universities from other countries, and they have been created in the Arab world or also any other country worldwide, just for expanding the global outreach of their education. So examples of well-known universities or international branch campuses in the Arab world include Coventry University in Egypt, Carnegie Mellon University in Qatar, and in the University of Birmingham in the United Arab Emirates. Type 2 universities, these are the foreign universities. These are defined as Arab world-based universities established by foreign countries and organizations. So these universities do not have a main campus, let's say, in some English native speaking country or countries. So well-known examples, of such universities are American University in Beirut, American University in Cairo, and also American University in Sharjah, or let's say AUB, AUC, and AUS. Type 3 universities. These universities are basically national or local universities. They are basically using English as the medium of instruction in their colleges or their departments. But the difference between type 3 and type 2 is that the type 3 universities are basically, the faculty members, teaching at these type 3 universities are basically Arab native or Arabic native speaking people. Whereas the former one, that is the foreign universities, most of them are basically, English native speaking faculty members. So well-known examples of such type 3 universities or English medium instruction programs are basically Nile University in Egypt, Gulf University for Science and Technology in Kuwait, Prince Sultan University in Saudi Arabia, and finally Khalifa University in the United Arab Emirates. Okay, type 4 universities. These are the most problematic English medium instruction programs in the Arab world. Why? Because here the majority, or let's say all the faculty members in most cases, are basically Arabic native speaking faculty members. So we may have some problems here in the part of the teachers and also in the part of the students. So these English medium instruction, given that they are basically delivered in English, in Arabic medium instruction universities, These basically concern some applied science majors, commonly speaking, such as medicine, engineering, chemistry, and physics. And also, they may also be delivered in some social sciences and humanities majors, such as business administration, mass communication, and politics. Okay, now let's talk about the realities of English medium instruction practices at Arab universities. Here I'm going to draw or I'm going to refer to briefly to some research findings, or I'm going to summarize them. Okay, back again to the issue of the types. Type 1, Type 2, 3, 4 English medium instruction universities in the Arab world. We can say that these four types of universities use varied English language related admission requirements and also sessional English language support programs. And that's why problems vary from one university type to another. So in Type 1 and Type 2 universities, we don't think, or there doesn't seem to be English related challenges in terms of language performance. Simply because of most faculty members recruited in such universities are either native speakers of English and also Arab faculty members with PhDs from Western universities, and therefore they do not have problems in delivering English medium instruction classes easily, of course, efficiently. In the part of the students here, we can talk basically about writing, which is the main problematic language area to the students attending such universities. Okay, with regard to Type 3 and Type 4 universities, here where actually research informs us about some problems, some major problems in such universities, especially Type 4 universities. So with regard to the students here, students are encountering more problems, especially in English writing, in reading and listening as well. So the problems here in a number of language skills rather than writing only, as is the case in Type 1 and Type 2 universities. In Type 4 university in particular, teachers, as research indicates, teachers have some communicative language competence problems, and these problems vary from one university major to another. Okay, these are the conclusions of my paper today. So we can summarize the conclusions by saying that despite the frequent Arabicization calls and attempts in the Arab world, the region has recently witnessed more orientations toward the Englishization of its higher education curriculum and teaching. However, there is a need for reforming English medium instruction practices in the Arab world. Basically, these reforms can be summarized as follows. So we need to modify English language related admission policies or standardize them. We also need to foster English language support, the English language support provided to students in these universities. And finally, we need also to improve content teachers' language performance. These are also some research suggestions for future studies. So we need to know to profile, I would say, English medium instruction practices in some Arab countries such as Bahrain, Djibouti, Iraq, Jordan, Kuwait, Mauritania, Palestine, Somalia, and Syria. We also do not have research on Arab University English medium instruction content teachers' language performance and needs. We also lack cross-country surveys of English medium instruction in the Arab world. And finally, we need to explore language instruction and assessment practices in English medium instruction classes at the Arab world. Well, more information about all the issues highlighted in my presentation can be accessed, and also the work supporting all these notes can be accessed in a paper I have recently co-authored and also published with my colleague from King Saudi University, Saudi Arabia, Dr. Majid Al-Hamad. So here the title of the paper and also its link, that's all I can say in this short time, of course. Thank you, and now I'm ready for any questions. Thank you so much.